I wanted to make like a really energetic intro for this video, but then I thought, well, it's not really I don't really feel like it, so I won't, and that's perfectly fine. Let's get started. The reason why I wanted to make like a really energetic intro is because I wanted to talk in this video about expressing yourself and how a lot of people have forgotten to really express themselves. Have you noticed that when you're biking? Well, I'm Dutch, so I'm biking. But when you go over the street and you just see a lot of people that like their default face is misery. Like people are grumpy and people have headphones in and they don't want to see the world and they just want to be at their destination. They don't want to travel and all that. And I get it. I've been there as well. It's not like I don't have that, but I'm trying to get out of that right now, because when you really see for example, the travel of going to another place as a journey, even though that journey continues to be the same, like when you go back and forth to one place, right? Maybe your job, maybe your friends or whatever. If you really see that as a journey, then life becomes so much better and you get so much more creative and just life will be better. That was not what I wanted to talk about, but like you see a lot of miserable people. At least that's what they look like, right? And most of the time when that's your default state, then you probably have something to work on, and that's fine. Like everyone has something to work on. I think the best way of working on that is expressing yourself in whatever way. And I think a lot of people have forgotten that. When was the last time that you shouted? When was the last time that you actually screamed your lungs out? Like just really everything that you have. When was the last time you did that? I asked some coaching clients that I have how long it has been. And they literally tell me, like, dude, that's been 20 years ago or whatever, something like that. That's insane. It's kind of weird. I get it. Like, society is weird, so that's why it's weird. I'm not blaming anyone, but it is something. It is something interesting, because if you think about it, screaming is a really good way to get rid of all the things that you've built up in your system, in your body. A lot of emotions are being hold in our body. We keep our emotions to ourselves. We keep our thoughts to ourselves, and what that does is it kind of traps all that energy. When you look at the word emotion, it's emotion, and the way I look at the word emotion, it's energy in motion. So emotions are literally energy in your body that moves. That's what emotions are. And if you don't express your emotions, even though you think you're good at it and it doesn't create a problem, it kind of does, because you suppress yourself. You can't express yourself enough, and that means that you're not having you're not outputting life. Like literally, when you're not expressing yourself, you are not creating the amount of life in your life that you could. And that's why I think that if you're not expressing yourself, then you just become a little bit miserable every single time. And our body and our mind is really good at adapting. So at some point you won't feel anything about that. You won't even notice it, because that's the way you've been doing everything. And your life, your body, and your mind are here to let you survive at the very minimum. So that's how they solve that issue, is by not like letting you not feel anything. But that creates also some things in your life where you are not you're not living the life in its fullest potential, because if you're not feeling anything, then you also will have trouble with relationships. You will also maybe not get that deal in business because you lacked sympathy, or you didn't see something, or you just didn't notice how well you connected with that person, and so you couldn't play with that dynamic, and so there goes your opportunity. For example, it's opportunities that you will never notice if you don't notice them, if that makes sense. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so you make your life way better if you start to express yourself in whatever way possible. Don't shoot people. Don't do that. No, don't actually be aggressive to other people. But aggression and anger is a good thing. Like it's there for a reason. And when you're really angry, why don't you just shout? Like that's not socially acceptable anymore, but it's a really good way to let go of all that anger. It's the right way of dealing with anger, instead of punching someone in the mouth. Like you can better shout into the sky or whatever. You can be angry at the whole world, but don't put the whole world in flames. Like that's not constructive. It's not productive. But like shouting is way better than actually being aggressive against other people, right? And so if you're really angry, shout. If you're really happy, laugh. If you're sad, cry. I kind of have some trouble with crying, and I know a lot of people are, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think I'm someone that cries fast, but when I do have the tendency to start crying, I really try my hardest to let that go, like to really cry then, because that's one of those rare instances where I can cry. So then I try to cry because it's a good thing, and the chemicals and all those things. I don't know, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing to express yourself, and so that's one part, right? That's the whole physical part. Your whole body, your whole life, everything will get better if you understand emotions and how to express yourself, how to express those emotions, because then energy can flow again. So that's the physical part of it. And yeah, like maybe the external part of it, the external part of your body, like the rest, external of your body, life will get better. You get more opportunities, you get better relationships, life will get better. But then there's also the internal benefit of expressing yourself. You can tell me I'm crazy. You can tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. But the way I see it, the way I think it actually is that if you don't express yourself and you're constantly keeping all that energy locked up and all that energy like just stagnant, and you're not allowing it to move in the way it should move, then your body will get contaminated and your cells will get stressed, because it's like water that it's just still, right? There's all kinds of trash in the water when it's still, but once it flows, you allow the water to purify itself, right? So you could see it as if you don't use your energy enough, or you don't express your energy enough, your emotions, then it becomes that polluted place of stress and misery, you could say. And then what happens, I think, is that your cells will have stress. And from what I have learned from cancer, for example, is that cancer is cells that have stress, and then they make evil cells or something like that, right? I'm not here to debate with you what exactly cancer is, but I'm here to give you the hint of, hey, isn't cancer cells that have stress, and then something goes wrong, and then at some point you can't go against it anymore? And isn't it that your cells get stressed when you don't allow yourself to be happy, or if you don't allow yourself to have the best life possible, or if you don't allow yourself to smile, or to cry, or to shout, or to just express yourself? I think that's where stress comes from. Or maybe it creates an environment where stress can be created. So if you're a person that doesn't allow yourself to express yourself, and something bad happens in your external life, then what are you going to do about it, right? You're just going to absorb that stress. You're going to absorb that negative energy, and then that becomes stress. And so your cells become stressed, and then you get cancer. Or I say cancer, but you could also get another disease, right? It's just toxicity that's in your body, and you're never getting it out because you have never learned how to express yourself. And that's why I think shouting is a really good thing, because all those toxins and all those toxins, they go into your muscles and into your through your entire body. And if you shout and if you really use your body as well, then you're stretching your muscles in other ways, and you're pulling that toxicity out. And so this is how you can get way healthier as well, if you start to express yourself a little bit more. And yeah, I've been talking for a long time now already, and I think this is a fascinating subject. Let me know what you think, because I really think that this could help a lot of people. Like, we have never been taught to express ourselves. I think mostly men, like guys, like women are better at expressing themselves, I think. Guys have a little bit of a harder time often. Like, guys also need to cry, but a lot of them don't, because they think that makes them look weak. And so, yeah, it's an interesting thing. A lot of people have never been taught to express themselves, and that's why I think a lot of problems in this world arise, because now all of a sudden we need to overcompensate in a toxic way, and then just shit happens, and it's weird. Like, when you express yourself, you're way more at ease, because you don't have anything to express anymore when there is a possibility to express yourself, right? When someone punches you, for example, and you've always been cropping up anger, you're going to punch back. But if you've been shouting whenever you got angry, or you started to do boxing, you punched punching bags all day long, right? Then you're not going to hit that guy that hit you. Like, you're just going to think, dude, stop. You're just going to be above that. And yeah, just whatever way you think you can express yourself the best, search for those ways, and don't let external situations guide how you can express your things. If gyms are closed and that's the main way you can express yourself, don't stop exercising. Figure out some solutions. You're a grown man, you're a grown woman. You can do stuff. You can take initiatives. Yeah, that's it for me. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.